It also does make sense that Dirk is still alive because in the Phoenix Wright tradition, we are going to prove that he did not kill Amara 23 years ago. Or no, was he? He was a lawyer. Was he accused of killing Queen Amara, or was he defending someone who was accused of killing Queen Amara? And then after the trial, they were like, lawyer, you did such a bad job defending this guy that you should also be put to death. And by the way, we're going to put all lawyers to death forever from now on. Are you okay, Apollo? Yeah. Okay, maybe he was accused. The Queen is in there altering the crime scene as we speak, naturally. Edgeworth speaking with the local police. So let's sit tight until he returns. Okay. I know you must be in a state of shock right now, but I need you to stay with us, Apollo. He's right. I can't go to pieces now. Thanks, Mr. Wright. I'll be Dai Jobu. Yeah, maybe he was defending himself in court. That would make sense. Right, Mr. Justice. I'm afraid I have some bad news. It looks like things will only get more complicated from here. Prosecutor Edgeworth, what's happening with Dirk? As I understand it, he has been officially charged with the murder of Minister Inga. He has? We shouldn't be surprised by that. However, I did manage to get us permission to investigate the crime scene, and I expect we'll be allowed to visit Mr. Sadmati shortly. Thank you. I'm sure glad Prosecutor Edgeworth is here with us. Also, it just so happens that Detective Skye is here in Khura'in. Just so happens. In the past week, she's been involved in every one of the trials, right? And they've taken place alternately in these two different countries on other sides of the world. So I've asked her to assist us with our investigation. What? What's she doing here? It seems Prosecutor Sadmati has grown quite fond of her. He's been ferrying her all over the place, a few days here, a few days there. They've almost become a team of sorts. Plot twist, Apollo was dead all along and you played as Pearl channeling him all game. We're going to prove nobody has ever killed anybody until the moment they claim to be a witness in a murder trial, when reality changes retroactively to make them a murderer. The gang's all here, and a phone intrusi for no real reason. Despite what Nayuta says, it seems he thinks highly of Emma's skills. So what now, Apollo? I think I will pay Dirk a visit at the detention center. I want to go check in on Maya at the hospital. What about you, Athena? Well, if there's footwork to be done, I better stick with Apollo and give him a hand. Very well. Then I will accompany Wright. Okay, we'll go our separate ways for now. Alright, if anything comes up, you have my cell number. No, I don't. Do you know your way around here, Apollo? It's been over 10 years since I left, but I'll try not to get us hopelessly lost. Mr. Wright stayed there the entire time he was here, apparently. Why would he stay at a temple instead of a hotel? He says it helped to cut costs. Long stays at a hotel really add up, you know. But he had to sleep on the floor with a load of strangers. There weren't any showers either. Wow, that's worse than staying at a youth hostel for backpackers. This is said to be a sacred spring and a pathway for souls to follow. The people of Khura'in believe the spring draws souls to the temple, and by the truth gained in the Hall of Justice beyond, they are memorialized. It seems that legal trials and funeral rites are inseparable in this country. How many strangers are in a load? Do I want to know? Apollo, here to see your old man, are you? Dirk, Have they done interrogating you? Nope, the fun hasn't even started. I imagine they'll really rake me over the coals, though. I don't even want to think about how harsh their interrogation method will be. Yeah, but that's nothing compared to what they'll do if they find him guilty. They've branded me a terrorist who killed the previous queen and now the justice minister. If found guilty of these crimes, I'll be facing a very public execution. Very public. Very public. They will... I don't know. How do you make something more public than public? Public execution? This is worse than I thought. It would have been fine if they just killed him in a room somewhere. Come on, son. Turn that frown upside down. You'll jinx us. As soon as I get out of here, I'll take you to this tasty hash house I know. What? Is he gonna take him out for okonomiyaki? It's made of pancakes, just like hash browns. No, potatoes. I meant to say potatoes. Even though Serp insists that it is not. I'd like that. I really need to focus on what happened. Time to switch to work mode. Dirk, can you tell me what happened? Oh, and there's also something I want you to take a look at. No, there isn't. Is there? I see you got it safely out of the tomb. Why did you throw it at me like that? I want you to listen carefully, son. The orb must not fall into Khura'in's hands, not ever. I thought Minister Ingo was the one who was after it. He was the one who lent it to Professor Buff to study, after all. So haven't you exposed his crime now? I have, but there's more connected to this relic than meets the eye. It's a transformer. And whatever it is, I can't help feeling that it could turn this entire kingdom upside down. You said something like that before. Looks like Dirk's intuition is at it again. Khura'in will do anything to retrieve this, so guard it well, son, at least until tomorrow's trial. Ano Jiken. Dirk, what happened in there? You didn't really kill Minister Inga, did you? Well, the thing is... I feel like that should never be a response to someone asking, so did you kill that person? Well, it's like this. I really don't know. Of course you don't. Of course you don't know what happened. Huh? I remember seeing the mural of the founder right as I entered the tomb, but I got all dizzy immediately after that. Oh, okay, so he walked into Hope's Peak Academy. It's actually secretly 2 years later. His memories of his school life have been erased. The next thing I knew, I was standing there with a bloody knife in my hand and covered in Inga's blood. So you don't remember meeting with him? No. The last thing I remember after entering the tomb is feeling really dizzy. Somebody injected him with Soparil, that's all. They were oh no! I'm running out of space. How urgent is it? I got 2 gigs left. That should be fine. We're only streaming for another half hour. There's no way he can explain what happened if he can't remember anything. Yeah. Is that a Junko emote? It is. I suppose there's no getting out of this one. But we can't give up yet. I was just messing with you, son. Well, stop. It's not funny. Sorry. Shh. Nothing seems to faze him, not even being arrested for murder. This is going to be one tough case, Apollo. I doubt that. I'm pretty good at video games. Not only have I been charged with Inga's murder, but I've also been charged with Amara's assassination from 23 years ago. You're on trial for 2 charges? Khura'in is practically licking her chops just thinking about my public execution. Guess it means we can't afford to lose our heads, huh? Apollo, don't take this case. You barely know this man. You only met him this game. If you fail, the government kills you. Well, he didn't just meet him this game. This is actually his... If you have forgotten one of Apollo's mysterious backstories, one of them, the one that came up this game, is that he was raised in Khura'in by this man, his adoptive father. I don't know how you can laugh at a time like this. Well, the prosecution's case is going to be super easy, given that, yes, they found him standing over the corpse holding a knife, and doubtlessly they're going to have Rafa channel her father's dying moments, which are going to show Dirk standing over him, stabbing him, saying, "My name is Dirk Sadmati. I am stabbing you. I am killing you." So, son, I take it you'll be defending me at my trial? Of course. You can count on me. That's my boy. Looks like your nerves are as steely as those vocal cords of yours. After all, you've got the Defense Culpability Act to contend with, too. Oh, right. So if you're found guilty, then I'll be charged with the same double homicide, huh? Don't tell me you forgot about that. I'll be fine. I just have to make sure we win this one. You sure? Because you don't sound very fine. Can you use the odor? Right, yeah, because we see the different, touch, sight, hearing, smell. It's like, oh, they smelled mind control dust. Multiple personalities again, or demonic possession? ¿Por qué no los dos? Why not both? Apollo, what was that about an assassination 23 years ago? Nijusan Nenmai. Nijusan Nenmai no Jikan. That was when the previous queen, Amara, was assassinated, wasn't it? Ansatsu. Yes, someone set her private residence on fire. She lost her life in the ensuing blaze. For just a moment, although it's too ridiculous, I was like, is that going to be Dr. Buff's... No, but that was only a year ago. That wasn't 23 years ago. Although it could... we still don't know who was the arsonist who set that fire. It's the same person, I'm sure. She lost her life in the ensuing blaze. And you were arrested for the crime? Why would they arrest you, Mr. Sadmati? Weren't you just a lawyer back then? What relation could you have had with the queen? Dirk actually killed both of them, which is a twist nobody will see coming, even though I'm telling everyone right now. I get, like, that is always a possibility, like, that we go through all of this, and that after several twists and turns, it comes out that I mean, Danganronpa 3 managed to switch up some things, so maybe this one, after 6 games, they finally said, let's do things that aren't obvious. About that, Amara was, well, she was my wife. I may not look the part, but I was once husband to a queen. In short, I was royalty. What? No way! Are you saying you won the heart of the reigning queen? Come on, you're talking to a guy who honed his prowess against witnesses on the stand. Even a queen is no match for this dragon's glare. Apollo's last game because he dies. They could do a bunch of things, I guess, but I don't know. Phoenix Wright seems like a very formulaic and status quo game. We'll see, though. Wow, you're really something else. So was a verdict ever reached, Dirk? I acted as my own attorney, and won. Until I was accused of fabricating evidence, that is. Then it all went south. Now, where have I heard a story like that before? What happened after that? I made a run for it. You ran? But why? I didn't kill Amara, and I didn't fabricate any evidence. But if I had stuck around for a retrial, I'd have been found guilty for sure. I couldn't allow that to happen. I couldn't allow that to happen. Amara's true killer would never face justice if I did. So I left my law practice behind and went underground. But that was 23 years ago. Are you telling me that after all these years, you still haven't discovered the truth? Yeah. The fact that it was an arson means that the crime scene was reduced to ashes. There is little in the way of evidence left. It's just been brick wall after brick wall. I guess that means it's all up to me to figure it out, huh? No, I'm sure he hates his dad. Because who wouldn't? Along with Minister Inga's murder, of course. I think I'm going to be sick. Come on, son, don't look so down. With you on the case, it'll work out somehow. I hope he's right. Say, son, do you remember my office? Sure. Remember that messy, dimly lit room? The file I've amassed on Amara's assassination is kept there. I think it might help you on this case. Do you remember how to get there? Let me think. I recall going in through a manhole. How can I not, Dirk? It's how I hated how I always got so dirty getting there. And that stench. Yeah, his whole... That old and the... Takes forever. That old case is important too, but I should probably focus on the minister's murder first. I'm afraid your time is up. Oh. Nayuda. It is time for the prisoner's interrogation. So be gone, you putrid-headed criminal-abetting lawyer. Wait, don't tell me. You're the prosecuting attorney? What? But that would mean... Is there a problem here? You bet there is. He's your father. And your point is? My relation to the accused is irrelevant. The fact remains, I am a prosecutor. No, that's not what I don't think I'm getting through to him. Nayuda, long time no see, son. How have you been? Look, I hear you've been serving Khura'in. Rather faithfully, in fact. Whatever happened to our dream of taking her down and changing this country, son? The past is the past. What do you mean? Why are you doing this? It's simple. People change. The Nayuda you knew exists no more. Listen, son, I don't know what made you change like this. But you're still my boy, even if you prosecute my case. The rest of the Defiant Dragons and I eagerly await your return. Ugh. Well, of course Nayuda gets a redemption arc. You get a redemption arc. You get a redemption arc. Everyone, whenever you're ready, we'll welcome you back with open arms. As I said, I've moved on. Now let us waste no more time, for flowers do not blossom simply from talk of the past. Nayuda, why do I get the feeling there's something he wants to say but can't? Guard, move the accused to the interrogation room. Yes, sir. This way, you rebel scum. Ow, watch it. Not so rough, will you? Nayuda, is he seriously going to prosecute his own father? So this is the tomb of Amara, the previous queen of Khura'in. It's really lavish. I guess you could say it's fit for a queen. What is going on the top left here? Is this somebody being executed? Is the faceless woman in that mural over there Amara? No, that's the Holy Mother. She's the one who brought spirit channeling to Khura'in. Oh, right, the woman in the orb. Oh, it's you two. Getting right down to business, I see. Who is it? Emma. Hi, Emma. We heard you'd give us a hand if we needed it. Yep. Mr. Edgeworth asked me to help where I could. So, it's been quite a while since you've been back in Khura'in, I hear. Yeah, more than 10 years, in fact. Well, you sure didn't waste any time. I mean, you're already mixed up in a murder. You're as big a trouble magnet as Mr. Wright. Please don't say that. My luck's already bad enough as it is. Emma, I hear Prosecutor Sedmati has requested your services again. He seems to have really taken a liking to you. You mean his ephemeral holiness? I don't mind that he approves of me and my abilities. It's just his people skills need some serious work. But when he manages to smile and compliments my work, it's hard to say no. Plus, working on investigations over... Whoa. I didn't do it. That's been tough, and the lack of sleep has been brutal on my skin. To make matters worse, the defendant in this case is someone I know. I mean, how could this get any worse? Munch. Sounds like they've got one complicated prosecutor-detective relationship going on. What did we miss here? Working on investigations overseas is a priceless experience, but flying back and forth between here and home every few days with no days off. Lack of sleep. It's been tough. Oh. That works. Lack of sleep has been brutal on my skin. The defendant is someone you know. Apparently they're pretty good. In the original Japanese, they are not called snakus. It's just a bag of karinto, which is like fried dough covered in like cocoa dust or something like that. I don't actually know. I forgot. Emma, have you determined the cause of death? Blood loss from a stab wound. A single stab in the back was enough to cause the victim to bleed to death. The estimated time of death is 3 p.m., which is when Dirk came onto the scene. Any suspects besides Dirk? No. He, Maya, and the minister were the only ones here, and Maya had been tied up until she was freed by the Queen's Royal Guard. Could someone have been hiding somewhere in here? Not likely. I was told this tomb was searched from top to bottom right after the murder. It's the worst. I'm gonna just fall asleep on stream. I was told this tomb was searched from top to bottom right after the murder, and during that time the Royal Guard set up a perimeter to prevent anyone from escaping. In other words, the crime scene was completely sealed off? It would appear so. No way for a third party to escape without being spotted, so... Great. It's another one of those convoluted lockroom mysteries. So I wonder, since we have like an estimated time of death, like around 3 p.m., I wonder if he was actually killed by the queen, like killed by Garan, right? And then she just came out later and then met us and was like, oh yeah, let's go ahead and send in Dirk. About the victim, Minister Inga. He was the kingdom's Minister of Justice, correct? Yes. Inga Karkul Khura'in was the second most powerful figure in Khura'in. Plus, he was married to the queen. Seems strange that someone of his status would abduct someone. Apparently, he only told a few of his most loyal subordinates about his plan. That way, there was little chance of the police, or even the queen, finding out. What was Inga hoping to gain by getting his hands on the orb? That, I don't know, but I'm working on it. I wonder if it was really for what politician Wimperson said. I must deliver it to my benefactor, at all costs. What do they want that relic for, anyway? It's something to do with an old legend. My patron seeks the great power said to be granted to whoever solves its secret. A great power that is said to be bestowed on whoever solves the orb's secret. In Khura'in, only those who can channel spirits are said to be fit to rule. Was that why Inga wanted such power? Did he want to be king? So this is the tomb of the previous queen? Yes, Queen Amara was laid to rest here. She lost her life in an arsonist's blaze. What a tragic end. I heard this tomb sits on the actual site of her residence before it was burned down. They built it on the same spot so her soul could rest in peace. So this is where the fire happened, huh? Why do you think Minister Inga was holding Miss Faye captive here? It's the perfect spot if you think about it. It's close to his private quarters, which made it easy to keep an eye on his prisoner. And the courtyard is only open to the royal family, so he had little fear of prying eyes. Plus, the tomb is normally locked, and only the royal family is allowed access. So that's why he picked this place. How long had Miss Faye been held captive? About 6 days. Really? That long? It appears she was severely weakened by her prolonged confinement. She passed out as soon as she was freed, and is now on an IV drip at the hospital. She's been asleep ever since. Poor Miss Faye. I hope she gets better soon. Emma, do you mind if we start looking around? Sure. I've already got the okay. Knock yourselves out. Oh, and here. It's a diagram the police drew of the tomb. I thought I'd give you a copy to help your investigation along. So yeah, one of those statues is broken. Oh, and let me know if you need my forensic expertise. Don't you dare keep all the fun to yourselves. You hear? You don't need to worry about that. Besides, I'd hardly classify this as fun. Is this supposed to be Amara channeling a spirit? It looks like the spirit of some country's sultan or something. She seems to be conveying something to his retainers. She's on fire! This must be Amara's assassination, as allegedly carried out by Dirk. They really made him look evil. This is the weirdest one of all. Is that supposed to be Dirk facing his punishment in the afterlife? Anyway, I guess that's the last one. I guess we're supposed to see this as a happy ending. Yeah, except nobody came out of this story happy. Oh, so this is the side we were supposed to start on. A baby on a lotus blossom? That's one strange painting. Apparently that's part of a mural depicting the life and times of Queen Amara. You know, like a storyboard or something. So that baby's supposed to be Amara? This one depicts Amara preaching to the faithful. It's hard to put into words, but I've never seen anything like it. Let's see. The next one is... Is that Dirk? Why does he have horns? My best guess is it depicts the first time Amara and Dirk met. So he's supposed to be some kind of demon who's seducing her? Well, he was successful since they got married after that. The mural continues on the opposite wall. I already saw it. What's this? Wow, it's covered in blood. With a blood spatter this large, it must have gotten all over the killer, too. Come to think of it, there was blood on Dirk's clothes. He's probably innocent, though. The circumstantial evidence points to Dirk being the killer. This really is like that idea that maybe we go through all of this and we go to the investigation, or then we go to the court and we've proved back and forth, and it's like, yeah, actually he totally did do it. It was actually a completely open and shut case. He walked in, he stabbed the guy, and that's it. And he also set his own house on fire. That's what I'd conclude if I were a cop, too. Why are things always so bleak for me? Alright. This is important. One of the statues is broken. Let's take a closer look. I found it. What is it? There's a bullet here. It's from the pistol the victim was carrying. I didn't know he had a pistol. I don't know anything. My guess is he tried to shoot his attacker but missed, and the bullet ended up here. We've already determined the rifling marks to be a match to his gun. We just decided to leave the bullet there. Rifling marks? Aren't those? Oh, shall I explain? The science behind it is absolutely fascinating. No, we're good. Lawyers think they're so smart. You do realize we can hear you. There is also a speed tab right here. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. There's something shiny down there. It's a pendant. There's blood on it. I wonder who it belongs to. All we know is it's not the victim's. No one in the royal family recognized it. Emma, did you lift any fingerprints from it? I did, but I wasn't able to get a clean one. That's too bad. But the blood turned out to be the victim's. That means it must have fallen here in the course of the murder. It might be Dirk's. I should ask him about it later. It's a Magatama, I think. Did it come from the broken statue? Look, Apollo, there's another one. Strange. But the other statues only have one each. Hey, you're right. Maybe the statue is special or something. But one of them is actually an upside-down 6. Or something. This thing's more splinter than statue now. The bullet from the victim's gun did a real number on it. It seems like something you get cursed for, you know? In Mr. Inga's case, I'd say getting your ticket punched is curse enough. Yeah, but don't curses extend to the afterlife? Yeah, I already said that. But whoever did the first arson is also responsible for the arson that killed Mrs. Buff. You need to stop taking what Nayuta says so seriously. I'm perfectly capable of thinking for myself. Is that everything? I think it is. The butterfly on the top is the same as the pendant. The sarcophagus is surrounded by a curtain. I bet someone could have hidden behind it. Yeah, it does seem weird that the statue would like whether it's made of stone or wood or whatever. Even if it's hollow, a bullet should not have gone like the whole thing exploded. True, but that's one of the many places the Royal Guard checked after storming in. Wow, they were really thorough. Yes, well, apparently one of their members loves mystery novels. He peered into every nook and cranny with an almost frightening amount of gusto, and when he was done, he said... Knox's Third. Very interesting. It's like one of those locked room mysteries. Sounds like he's in the wrong line of work. Also, why would they have said it's like a locked room mystery if they found the guy with the knife and blood all over him who has the biggest motive in the world to come kill this guy? They walk into a place and there's one guy and a dead body, and it's the guy that you would suspect even if you hadn't found him here, like, oh, it's probably the rebel leader. And he's like, this is like one of my Japanese anime mystery novels. It looks like the Holy Mother was painted here to watch over Amara's sarcophagus. Mystery. So it's like this tomb is protected by the founder? That must be so reassuring to those she left behind. Only one problem. They didn't paint the eyes she needs to do said watching. Come to think of it, she doesn't have a mouth to smile down on the tomb with either. It's actually kind of creepy. I wonder if being watched over by something like that gives the queen nightmares. Hey, keep that up and the founder just might come and watch over you, too. So this is Amara Sarcophagus. Let's take a closer look. Okay. Hey, these curtains open, Apollo. That's one big sarcophagus. They say the mummy of Amara, the former queen, rests inside. A mummy, huh? Rats, it's locked. Don't touch that! You mean we can't search inside it? Not a chance. Besides, it's not something anyone would try opening anyway. How can Amara be real if her eyes aren't real? What if the real killer's hiding inside? Hey, anyone in there? Fake snake is in there. Don't do that, you're going to get us cursed. Cursed? The queen likely bears a grudge toward the living after such a violent, painful death, so no one dares touch the sarcophagus for fear of incurring her wrath. Oh no, Apollo. What am I going to do? Don't look at me. In any case, the sarcophagus is temperature controlled. It's kept really cold to preserve the mummy. Well, that's relevant. You said it, now it's relevant. So even if someone did decide to hide inside it, they would eventually freeze to death. I see. Still, if they bundled up, I bet a person could hide in there for a little while. That was it? That's the whole thing? That's the whole thing. It's like a small army of monks, all neatly lined up. Looks like they're facing the sarcophagus in prayer. Preserve the body for no plot-based reason whatsoever. If you look carefully, each one has a slightly different expression. I wonder if they use real people as models. Some are frowning, some are smiling. There's one that looks like he's trying his hardest not to burst out laughing. Really? I wonder why. Maybe it's like those times when things are so intense you can't help but laugh. You know, like at funerals and stuff. Went through all the trouble of depicting that. Talk about going overboard. Look, one of the statues is broken. Yeah, but it's kind of hard to see from there. Let's check it out when we get a little closer. Alright, so that doesn't count. Guess this is where Inga collapsed when he died. Better take a closer look. So I learned from Pitch Shifter that this style of phone is called Garaketai, or Garake for short. And the Gara is short for Galapagos, as in, like, the remote island, because of the fact that they were developed, like, independent of other types of cell phones. Like, Japanese flip phones don't really look like American flip phones, and I guess they're still heavily used over there. Not everybody uses smartphones. And that they call technology that Japan, like, redundantly, like, reinvented the wheel on Galapagos technology. Because it's, like, you know, needlessly what's the word, enclosed, like, without developing it based on other countries' technology of the same industry. I wonder if this is Inga's cell phone. It should be. His fingerprints are all over it. Do you know if he talked with anyone recently? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, isolated. Maybe. What did I say? I said some other word. There were a few calls logged between him and his underlings. They're all members of the secret police who were directly under the minister's control. You mean like spies? I don't think that's quite it. It's a gun that shoots 4 bullets at once? What the hell kind of gun is that? So the minister was armed, huh? That's a 4-shot pistol. He had it for self-defense, apparently. But it won't be firing anything anytime soon. Huh? He was carrying a broken gun around for show? No, we recovered a bullet here, which means the gun probably broke as the minister fired its last round. The thing is, the gun's chambers are all empty. Yet that one bullet is the only bullet we could find. That is strange. Where did the other 3 go? Maybe Dirk ate... Okay, thank you. We can ask the next time we see him. Just be ready for his predictably shocking answer. No, actually, it's a special gun. It only takes 1 round of ammunition, but when you shoot it, it comes out of one of the 4 chambers at random, so that if you're one of those, like, crazy, like, oh, haha, my speed and reflexes are so fast, but if you don't know which barrel it's going to come out of, it's perfect for defeating people who have superpowers. So this is the murder weapon. Emma, did you find any prints on it? Yep, and they were super clear. They belonged to one Dirk Sudmati. That's not good. Were there any others? There was one more print from another individual, but it was too smudged to identify. It's probably an old print from someone who had handled the knife. Oh. Yet another piece of unhelpful info to add to our ever-growing pile. Yeah. They've already taken the body away. It's kind of sad how familiar I've become with body outlines. I have a photo of the body if you're interested. He was stabbed right in the back. The poor guy was practically skewered. What's he wearing on his arms? Those are the cuffs of justice. Seems to be a tradition here for the Minister of Justice to wear those forearm cuffs. They look very silly. Oh, there's some wine. They look like they aren't made of... They look like they are made of thick fabric, so I guess they aren't for protection. Maybe they're for keeping his sleeves out of the way when handling documents. Yeah, that's probably their original purpose. But over the years, the purpose for wearing them was probably forgotten. So now they're just one of many traditional things that people do without knowing why. Oh, I get it. Kind of like the way you roll up your sleeves, huh? Or your psychology, if we're going there. I happen to know why I started, thank you very much. This is the... Of course it is. Very, very nice game. This is the grape juice that Ingo was drinking. He was probably nervous before his meeting with Dirk and drank some grape juice to calm himself. I'm not seeing the logic here. Mr. Wright told me all about it when he was hospitalized a few years ago. He said grape juice has something in it that helps you relax. Really? Are you sure he was talking about regular, plain old grape juice? Because it sounds like he was talking about the fermented variety. No, he couldn't have meant that. I mean, we're talking about a medical facility. They wouldn't have allowed something like that in. Right. Let's just leave it at that. So is that not even part of the case? It's just they wanted to call back to how silly it is to do the frothing mugs of water bit. I don't know what else there is to look at. A chair. Miss Fay was apparently tied to this chair. Let's take a closer look. We should try to cover every angle possible here. And in order to do that, we should swipe the screen to change our perspective and take a careful look around. No. I'm going to investigate head on! I bet you didn't know, but I happen to be a bit of an escape artist myself. Trucy showed me how to do her rope escape trick. Uh-huh. Why would you bother learning something like that? Because we're always getting into trouble when working on cases with Mr. Wright. So I thought it might come in handy someday. Well, I guess you're right about that. Miss Fey could have definitely used that knowledge. That's right. So now, you just sit right here, and we'll get started. What in the world gave you the idea I wanted to learn? I'm a male character. I can't be kidnapped. Poor Miss Fey. She must have been tied to this chair. I can just imagine how much her backside must have hurt after sitting here for so long. It would have been torture for you, I bet. I mean, you don't know how to sit still. If by that you mean I like to stay active, then I have to agree with you. Meh. Meh. Ah, I found it. Look, there's a blood stain on one of the chair legs. Really? Hey, you're right. I completely missed that. Let's move the chair so we can check underneath it. Funk. There's more blood under the chair leg. I wonder what it's doing there. I have some luminol here. Why don't you do some testing around it? Look. Okay, I didn't quite spray all of that, but okay. The bloodstain leads all the way to the sarcophagus. Emma, is this Minister Inga's blood? Hold on 1 second. That's how long it takes to do DNA testing. That's strange. I didn't get a match. So then, whose blood is it? Dirk and Ms. Fey weren't wounded, as far as we know. And the blood's been wiped up by someone for some reason. Yeah, that's strange, too. It better not be like this is blood from 23 years ago that we just found. Because this is on the same site that her house originally burned down. Bloodstain on the floor. It's already been mostly wiped up, but the stain leads all the way to the sarcophagus. I wonder whose blood it is. Someone could have hid behind these curtains. Here, I'll go give it a try. Well, can you tell I'm hiding here? No, I can't tell at all. That's it. That's the perfect hiding place. We did it, Apollo. We solved the case. Sorry to burst your bubble, but the Royal Guard searched the tomb high and low right after they stormed in, and they said no one else was in here besides Minister Inga, Dirk, and Ms. Fey. Back to the drawing board, I guess. My brilliant deduction. Destroyed in 3 sentences. Oh, actually, I wonder... Okay, nothing to talk about. Present. You must need my forensic evidence. That's expertise. This is the I don't care about the thing that you presented, but I was asking! I actually was asking about forensic expertise on that. Oh well. Alright, I'm not sure what else there is to do in here, but it's 9 o'clock, so let's wrap up. Let's save it here and resume on Saturday. We'll be playing this Saturday and Sunday. We're probably not going to finish it in just 2 more streams, but sometime next week we'll finish it, and afterwards we'll jump straight into La Mulana. We'll, I guess, just play that a whole bunch. Won't that be fun? Will it? Will it? I leave that up to you guys. So thank you for being here. Thank you for the host from Blind. Thank you everybody for hanging out. I'll see you on Saturday and Sunday for more Phoenix Wright, Spirit of Justice. Only time will tell. Let's see if there's somebody to host.